The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers are finally in a good place. It took years to get here, so could a moment of passion be the very thing that blows up the friendship between these old-time rivals and trigger a new feud? No romantic reunion. For Sharon and Nick, Y&R fans thought that in the aftermath of the truth coming out about Heather Stevens' murder, a chic reunion would wrap the entire storyline up, considering how far Nick Newman went to clear Sharon's name and how much he believed in her. Alas, these two exes continue to sit in the friends zone, much to the disdain of chic fans everywhere. After the whole Martin Laurent kidnapping, longtime haters Sharon and Phyllis bonded. How could they not? They both saved each other's lives and went through heck and back. In many ways, the two ladies became friends, and they had a nice scene together recently, while in a train cabin at Kane Ashby's French summer home. Phyllis even got a bit sappy about how Sharon was trying to protect her, much like a real friend would. Things are going zen between these two ladies, but could the very reason their rivalry began be the very reason these two once again launch a feud? Nick ruins everything. Nick was the reason these two ladies hated each other for years. After all, Nick was with Sharon when Phyllis lured him away. Their affair triggered Sharon-Nick's breakup and the breakup of their family, and for many years after that, the women fought over Nick's affection. Nick's affair with Phyllis resulted in Summer Newman, and Nick's affair with Sharon, while with Phyllis, resulted in Faith Newman. As Nick can sense Sharon has more than just friend feelings for him, he's got his walls up with her and niece. However, as he and Phyllis have a different relationship, could something happen between them? Could they get caught up in passion? If Phyllis and Nick had a one-nighter, this would certainly smash any progress made between Phyllis and Sharon. Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that we've got a July sweeps update that points to some sizzling storylines. Aristotle Dumas's real identity has come to light, so some new mysteries will take center stage now that Kane Ashby is front and center. First, Kane's trip to Genoa City will bring a conversation with Holden Novak, who's secretly still employed by Dumas and has been helping with GC property purchases. Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman are going to make multiple Kane-related discoveries in the coming episodes, so that'll lead to Adam crashing the party in Nice soon after. Although Kane will plan to prove he can be a formidable foe, that seems like wishful thinking. Victor tends to be a few steps ahead of his opponents and always comes out on top in the end. Kane will inevitably learn that lesson the hard way when whatever he's plotting fails spectacularly. However, danger could become the most pressing issue since a whodunit is on the way. Kane already gave Chance Chancellor updates on someone wanting to eliminate him, so an attempt on his life could be imminent. Will Kane drive the story in an almost murder mystery, or could a real one be brewing when another character gets wiped out instead? Either way, Damian Kane may land in hot water, since he touched that knife on the train. All signs point to that being the weapon involved in this crime, so Damian may be falsely accused. While Kyle Abbott and Audra Charles face a risky magnetic attraction in Nice, Claire Newman and Victoria Newman will deal with some heartbreak in Chicago. That's where Cole Howard is a patient, and where he may pass away since he's about to say goodbye to Victoria and Claire from his hospital bed. If Kyle goes too far with Audra, he's bound to feel terrible, especially if he finally gets in touch with Claire and learns Cole's gone. Kyle may end up desperate to bury any cheating that goes down, but scandalous secrets have a way of getting out on soaps. Another mystery storyline will unravel during the month of July as well, so let's discuss Mariah Copeland and her worsening downward spiral. It seems like Mariah may be covering up a crime. So did she kill that stranger on her business trip, or at least try to? One way or another, Y&R spoilers say what happened will come back to haunt Mariah in a big way. Daniel Romalotti Jr. assured Danny Romalotti that he was just friends with Tessa Porter, but will that change following her separation from Mariah? Regardless, a change is brewing in Danny's own relationship status since he's going to pop the question. Christine Blair should give Danny the yes he's looking for, so some engagement news and wedding plans are looming. On The Young and the Restless, Amanda Sinclair walked back into the lives of people in Genoa City with a bang, with the shocking news that she was the personal attorney of the elusive Aristotle Dumas. But now that his true identity has been revealed, what other secrets is Amanda keeping? On The Young and the Restless, Amanda Sinclair seems right at home at Aristotle Dumas' estate in the French Riviera. But before she arrived along with half of Genoa City, Amanda was the only person that anyone knew who had met the mysterious billionaire in person. That all changed, of course, once he revealed himself to be Cain Ashby. But how did Amanda and Cain become partners in this game of deceit? There's a backstory there. We just haven't been told it yet. While Cain claims to be back to recapture Lily's heart and win back the love of his life, why is Amanda so dedicated to the cause? Lily calls Amanda her friend, but clearly they aren't as close as Amanda is to Cain. When Amanda was in Genoa City, Lily, Devon, and Nate had plenty of questions, but Amanda would only insist that Mr. Dumas had no intentions of coming after their company. She even said that he had kept up with all of their accomplishments and respected them. But what Amanda left out would have changed everything, telling Lily the truth that Dumas was Cain. When Cain was ready to reveal himself to his guests, he told his assistant, Carter, to summon Amanda, claiming that he needed her. While Amanda certainly knows her way through and around the maze, she is also very familiar with the estate. She seems to be more than Cain's attorney, and her loyalty runs deeper than that of an employee. Amanda didn't know Cain well before he left town all those years ago, but she is speaking on his behalf nowadays. What changed? Did Cain show loyalty to her, so now she thinks she can trust him? She must be getting more out of this deal than just a paycheck. Amanda's reputation and character meant too much to her to be involved in the type of scheming that Lily is convinced Cain is embroiled in. Or is she? This week, Cain returns to Genoa City and meets with Holden. Will Amanda be left to navigate the waters for him in the French Riviera? She might have a mutiny on her hands when they realize he hasn't been seen, especially since the guests haven't been allowed to leave. The Young and the Restless scoop for the week of June 30th reveals Adam Newman will show up at the chateau in France. Also coming up, Cain Ashby will put Amanda Sinclair in charge. Plus, Mariah Copeland will feel trapped. And is Cole Howard going to die? Y&R spoilers tease Mariah's secret will begin to consume her. She's parted ways with Tessa Porter in order to protect her wife from what she did. And with Sharon Newman out of town and unreachable, she'll feel more isolated than ever before. In France, Amanda will watch Cain's guests on the monitor as they chat by the pool. Then she'll get a message from her boss. Headed back to Genoa City, it'll say. Back in 2 days. Keep them all entertained and distracted. Meanwhile, Victoria Newman and Claire Newman will head back to Chicago to check on Cole at the hospital. But he'll have bad news for his girlfriend and his daughter. Cole will tell them he's glad they arrived in time for them to say their goodbyes. Other Y&R spoilers tease Phyllis Summers will end up with some valuable information. Plus, Holden Novak will meet up with Cain in Genoa City, and Billy Abbott will make yet another promise to Sally Spectra. Finally, Adam recently found out Aristotle Dumas was buying up properties in downtown Genoa City. He's tried to get in touch with Victor Newman countless times, but to no avail. So, Adam will take matters into his own hands and travel to France. He'll arrive at the chateau, much to the surprise of his family. Then he'll tell Victor he's got disturbing news. "You're not gonna like it, Pop," he'll tell Victor. "You're not gonna like it one bit." But what is Victor going to do about it? Hey Y&R fans! Are you enjoying the new CBS Sudser Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading the soap scoop for Young and the Restless spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our Y&R Facebook group or leave us a reply in our comments section. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Young and the Restless online at cbs.com. Genoa City is no stranger to drama, but Cain Ashby's latest storyline may be one of the most explosive yet. As he hides behind the identity of Aristotle Dumas, his past is preparing to make an unforgettable comeback, and it could unravel everything he's worked to create. Fans of The Young and the Restless know that secrets don't stay buried for long, and Cain Ashby is about to learn that lesson the hard way. Operating under the alias Aristotle Dumas, Cain has built a new life rooted in mystery, deception, and high-stakes alliances. But the latest spoilers tease that a figure from Kane's past is on their way to Genoa City, and their arrival could change everything. One name that's making waves is Genevieve Atkinson, Kane's manipulative yet sharp-witted mother. Once thought to be off the grid, Genevieve has a knack for showing up when Kane least expects it. Her sudden return could either expose Kane's secret identity or pull her into the schemes he's entangled in. As someone who both raised and outsmarted him in the past, Genevieve may prove to be the biggest threat to Kane's carefully constructed world. The potential for surprise twists doesn't stop there. Viewers may recall the emotional storylines surrounding Kane's sister Samantha, whose tragic death left a deep scar on his life. But what if Samantha isn't truly gone? Could a mysterious woman tied to her, perhaps a twin or a secret daughter, surface in Genoa City, claiming a piece of Kane's family legacy? The Young and the Restless is known for its dramatic reveals involving long-lost relatives, and such a development could shake Kane to his core. If this new character has ties to Chancellor Industries or is caught up in Victor Newman's intricate power plays, the drama could ripple across multiple storylines. Another name being floated is Colin Atkinson, Kane's cunning and often dangerous father. The current arc of Kane's behavior, full of manipulation, corporate maneuvering, and international intrigue, bears a striking resemblance to Colin's signature style. Could the father and son have been secretly collaborating all along? Or is Kane trying to outrun his father's shadow? If Colin returns, it won't be quietly. His reappearance would certainly send shockwaves through Genoa City, particularly for those involved in Kane's current inner circle, including Victor, Audra, and other key players. Kane's transformation into Aristotle Dumi has earned him influence and power, but it has also isolated him from the truth of his past. As the walls close in and familiar faces begin to resurface, Kane is forced to reckon with a pivotal question. Can he continue living this lie, or must he confront the man he used to be? Whether this mystery guest comes to offer redemption or revenge, one thing is certain. The truth could destroy Kane's alliances and destabilize his new identity. The fallout might even stretch to Chancellor Winters, Newman Enterprises, and the broader Ashby family legacy. With secrets threatening to spill and old wounds reopening, Genoa City is bracing for impact. The return of someone from Kane Ashby's past could lead to dramatic revelations, emotional confrontations, or even a complete power shift. Is Kane ready to face what's coming? Will he find a path to redemption? Or will his empire crumble under the weight of the truth? In the sun-drenched streets of Genoa City, where secrets simmer beneath the surface, a gripping drama is unfolding. At the heart of this tale are three pivotal figures: Damian Kane, Audra Charles, and Kyle Abbott. Their relationships, laced with love, ambition, and deception, are weaving a complex narrative that promises to shake the foundations of this iconic city. As emotions clash and hidden agendas emerge, the question looms: will loyalty prevail, or will ambition tear everything apart? Damian Kane, a man who thrives in the shadows, has taken it upon himself to safeguard his half-brother, Nate Hastings, from the enigmatic Audra Charles. Audra, with her magnetic charm and sharp ambition, has caught the attention of both Nate and Kyle Abbott, heir to the powerful Abbott family. Damian, however, sees through her polished facade. He suspects Audra is orchestrating a dangerous game, one that could ensnare Nate in a web of manipulation. In a tense confrontation, Damian warns Audra, his voice cold and resolute. "You think you can hide everything? I've seen what you're doing." His words are not just a warning, but a promise to protect Nate at all costs. The tension escalates as Damian uncovers hints of Audra's questionable motives. Her relationship with Kyle, which she dismisses as a mere social media ploy to boost her image, raises red flags. Damian's instincts tell him there's more to her story, especially after witnessing an intimate moment by the pool in Nice, where Kyle, with a carefree smile, applies sunscreen to Audra's back. The scene, bathed in golden sunlight, might seem innocent to some, but to Damian, it's a glaring sign of trouble. Audra Charles is no stranger to Genoa City's power plays. Ambitious and calculating, She navigates relationships with a strategist's precision. Her connection with Kyle, she insists, is nothing more than a calculated move to elevate her status in the city's elite circles. Yet the chemistry between them, evident in stolen glances and subtle touches, suggests something deeper. Is Audra genuinely drawn to Kyle, or is she merely a pawn in a larger scheme orchestrated by the formidable Victor Newman? Victor, the patriarch of the Newman family, has his own agenda. Disapproving of Kyle's budding romance with his niece, Claire, Victor sees Audra as the perfect tool to disrupt the Abbott family. By leveraging Audra's ambition, he aims to sow discord and protect his family's legacy. Audra, aware of the stakes, treads carefully, knowing one misstep could unravel her carefully laid plans. But with Damien watching her every move, her margin for error is razor thin. At the core of this drama is Audra's relationship with Nate Hastings. Their love, forged through trials, has been a beacon of stability in Genoa City's chaotic landscape. Yet, Audra's ambitions threaten to eclipse her feelings for Nate. As she balances her loyalty to him with her pursuit of power, she faces a pivotal choice. Will she prioritize love, or will her hunger for influence lead her to betray the man who trusts her? Kyle, meanwhile, is caught in Audra's orbit. Despite warnings from his mother, Diane Jenkins Abbott, about the dangers of women like Audra, Kyle is drawn to her confidence and allure. Unbeknownst to him, he may be a pawn in Victor's vendetta against the Abbotts. If Kyle discovers Audra's true intentions, the fallout could devastate not only his heart, but also his family's standing in Genoa City. As the drama unfolds, the specter of Nice looms large. Audra's cryptic reference to events in the picturesque city hints at secrets that could unravel the fragile bonds between these characters. Damien, ever vigilant, fears that Nate's trust in Audra could lead to heartbreak, or worse. His resolve to protect his brother is unwavering, but the path forward is fraught with uncertainty. Will Damien confront Audra directly, or will he take his suspicions to Nate, risking a rift between brothers? In Genoa City, where every smile hides a strategy and every alliance is tested, the lines between love and ambition blur. Audra's choices will determine whether she can hold on to Nate's love, or if her pursuit of power will cost her everything. Kyle, caught in a game he doesn't fully understand, faces the possibility of betrayal. And Damien, the steadfast protector, stands ready to expose the truth, no matter the cost. The unfolding saga in Genoa City is more than a tale of romance. It's a battle for loyalty, power, and truth. As Audra navigates her ambitions, Kyle grapples with his desires, and Damien stands guard over his family. The stakes have never been higher. In a city where secrets rarely stay buried, the consequences of their actions will ripple far beyond their personal lives, reshaping alliances and rivalries alike. For now, the residents of Genoa City, and those watching their story unfold, can only wait to see whether love will triumph, or if ambition will cast a long, dark shadow over them all. In a stunning turn of events that has left Genoa City reeling, Mariah Copeland, a woman known for her quiet strength, stepped into the spotlight at a lavish Parisian gala to confront a powerful man and reveal a truth that would unravel his carefully crafted empire. Her story, one of pain, resilience, and bravery, has sparked a movement, reminding the world that even the most polished facades can hide dark secrets. This is the account of how one woman's courage changed everything. Mariah Copeland had always been a pillar of resilience, navigating life's challenges with a smile that masked her inner turmoil. But behind her composed exterior, she was battling a storm of loneliness, pressure, and judgment that slowly eroded her spirit. Her relationship with her wife, Tessa, began to fray as Mariah withdrew, unable to share the weight of her pain. "She flinched when I reached out," Tessa later shared, her voice heavy with heartbreak. "I begged her to let me in, but she just shut down." Mariah's sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through Genoa City. Her apartment stood empty, her phone unanswered. Even her mother, Sharon, whose intuition rarely failed, couldn't reach her. Speculation swirled. Had she gone on a retreat? Was she seeking space? But those closest to her sensed something far more troubling. the truth emerged in a way no one could have predicted. At a glamorous Parisian event hosted by corporate magnate Kane Ashby, Mariah appeared, pale and trembling, yet resolute. The room, filled with influential figures, fell silent as she stepped forward, her presence a stark contrast to the elegance around her. In her hand, she held a crumpled envelope, a DNA test that would change everything. Kane Ashby, a man known for his charm and calculated control, stood at the center of the gala, surrounded by allies and admirers. His reputation as a visionary in the European corporate scene seemed untouchable until Mariah confronted him. With a voice cracking under the weight of her truth, she accused him of manipulation, coercion, and abuse. "You used me," she said, her words cutting through the room. "You isolated me, made me question my sanity, and threatened to ruin me." The crowd gasped as Mariah revealed the DNA test, confirming that Kane was the biological father of her unborn child. The revelation was a bombshell, exposing a side of Kane that had long been hidden behind his polished exterior. Sharon and Nick, Mariah's parents, who had attended the event to monitor Kane's growing influence, were stunned. Sharon rushed to her daughter's side, whispering, "You're safe now," though the weight of the moment suggested otherwise. Kane's attempts to deflect, calling Mariah unstable and accusing her of fabricating the story, fell flat. His silence in the face of the DNA evidence spoke louder than his denials. As the crowd watched, his carefully constructed image began to crumble. The aftermath was swift and unforgiving. News of the confrontation spread like wildfire, dominating headlines and social media. Kane's allies distanced themselves, investors pulled out, and whispers of past indiscretions surfaced, painting a picture of a man who had long exploited his power. His legal team launched a counteroffensive, attempting to discredit Mariah by dredging up her past struggles, but the public's perception had shifted. The image of a pregnant, trembling Mariah standing up to a mogul was indelible. In a quiet Paris hospital room, Mariah faced the reality of her pregnancy and the trauma she had endured. Tessa arrived, devastated by the distance that had grown between them, but determined to support her wife. "I didn't know," Tessa said, tears in her eyes. "I just want to understand." Mariah, still grappling with her pain, began the slow process of healing, supported by her family and a community that refused to let her face this alone. Mariah's story became more than a scandal. It became a rallying cry. Her bravery inspired others to speak out, challenging the notion that powerful figures could operate with impunity. "I won't let him rewrite the truth," Mariah declared, her voice steady despite the challenges ahead. Mariah's journey is far from over. Legal battles loom as Kane fights to salvage his empire and reputation. Tessa and Mariah face the complex task of rebuilding their relationship, while Mariah grapples with the responsibility of impending motherhood. Yet through it all, she has found a new sense of purpose. "This child is not a curse," she said in a recent interview. "It's a life I'll protect and love." Her courage has reshaped Genoa City, forcing a reckoning with the shadows that lurk behind wealth and power. Kane's downfall serves as a stark reminder that no one is untouchable, and Mariah's refusal to remain silent has sparked a movement that resonates far beyond one night in Paris. Mariah Copeland's story is a testament to the power of truth in the face of overwhelming odds. By stepping into that Parisian ballroom, she not only exposed a predator, but also reclaimed her voice and her strength. Her actions have sent ripples through Genoa City and beyond, challenging us to listen to those who dare to speak, to question the untouchable, and to stand with survivors. As Mariah prepares for the challenges ahead, legal battles, motherhood, and healing, she does so with a community behind her and a legacy of courage that will not be forgotten. In a world that often looks away, Mariah Copeland ensured it could not. The Young and the Restless spoilers update for Monday, June 30th reveals that Audra Charles will catch up with Damian Kane and quiz him about the nature of his relationship with Lily Winters. Although Audra will feel like she's seen some fireworks, Damian will insist what he shares with Lily is friendship. Damian will be more curious about what's going on with Audra and Kyle Abbott since they've been looking cozy. Although Audra will allude to a Kyle fling in the past, she'll insist that's behind them and that they've just been working on a social media stunt. Damien will wonder if maybe that's a cover for something else, but Audra will argue that she wouldn't risk her happy relationship with Nate Hastings. Nevertheless, Damien will fear that what happens in Nice stays in Nice. Since Damien will want to protect his half-brother, he'll make it clear that he'll be watching Audra. As they dine together, Diane Jenkins Abbott will give Kyle updates on Jack Abbott, leaving her a note this morning and telling her not to worry, which will only make her worry more. Although Jack will act like he's checking out the grounds, Diane will have a hunch he's doing something she wouldn't approve of. Talk will eventually turn to Audra since Diane will think Kyle needs to stay away from her. Diane will push Kyle to open his eyes to Audra and Victor's obvious takedown plan, but he'll insist he's aware and staying on guard. Next on Monday's Y&R episode, Lily will slam Amanda Sinclair for going along with Kane Ashby's Aristotle Dumas deception. Amanda let Kane swoop back into Lily's life, so she won't be happy about getting blindsided. Amanda will acknowledge that Kane wants Lily back, but Lily won't care that his bank account is bigger and will assume he got his money in shady ways like Colin Atkinson. Although Amanda will attempt to defend Kane's decency, Lily won't want to hear it. As they chill out by the pool, Devin Winters and Abby Winters will greet Chance Chancellor. That'll lead to Chance's admission about why Kane asked him to this party. So he'll spill about Kane's belief that someone plans to kill him before this vacation ends. Lily will be taken aback when she walks over and hears something about a killer. Chance will explain what Kane told him, so he'll debate with Lily, Devin, and Abby about whether this is real or another one of Kane's stunts. Back with Amanda, she'll watch Kane's guests on the video monitor in his office and receive a text from Dumas soon after. It'll say that Kane's headed to Genoa City and that he wants Amanda to keep their guests distracted until he gets back in 2 days. In their train car, Sally Spectra will hope to protect her role at Abbott Communications. Since Billy Abbott will obsess over Chancellor and working a Kane angle, Sally will demand a deal. If Billy moves ahead with this Chancellor pursuit and ends up running it again, Sally will want control of Abbott Communications. Billy will seem hesitant, but Sally will stand her ground on demanding a written agreement. In a stunning turn of events that has left Genoa City reeling, Mariah Copeland, a woman known for her quiet strength, stepped into the spotlight at a lavish Parisian gala to confront a powerful man and reveal a truth that would unravel his carefully crafted empire. Mariah Copeland had always been a pillar of resilience, navigating life's challenges with a smile that masked her inner turmoil. But behind her composed exterior, she was battling a storm of loneliness, pressure, and judgment that slowly eroded her spirit. Her relationship with her wife, Tessa, began to fray as Mariah withdrew, unable to share the weight of her pain. "She flinched when I reached out," Tessa later shared, her voice heavy with heartbreak. "I begged her to let me in, but she just shut down." Mariah's sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through Genoa City. Her apartment stood empty, her phone unanswered. Even her mother, Sharon, whose intuition rarely failed, couldn't reach her. Speculation swirled. Had she gone on a retreat? Was she seeking space? But those closest to her sensed something far more troubling. The truth emerged in a way no one could have predicted. At a glamorous Parisian event hosted by corporate magnate Kane Ashby, Mariah appeared, pale and trembling, yet resolute. The room, filled with influential figures, fell silent as she stepped forward, her presence a stark contrast to the elegance around her. In her hand, she held a crumpled envelope, a DNA test that would change everything. Kane Ashby, a man known for his charm and calculated control, stood at the center of the gala, surrounded by allies and admirers. His reputation as a visionary in the European corporate scene seemed untouchable until Mariah confronted him. With a voice cracking under the weight of her truth, she accused him of manipulation, coercion, and abuse. "You used me," she said, her words cutting through the room. "You isolated me, made me question my sanity, and threatened to ruin me." The crowd gasped as Mariah revealed the DNA test, confirming that Kane was the biological father of her unborn child. The revelation was a bombshell, exposing a side of Kane that had long been hidden behind his polished exterior. Sharon and Nick, Mariah's parents, who had attended the event to monitor Kane's growing influence, were stunned. Sharon rushed to her daughter's side, whispering, "You're safe now," though the weight of the moment suggested otherwise. Kane's attempts to deflect, calling Mariah unstable and accusing her of fabricating the story, fell flat. His silence in the face of the DNA evidence spoke louder than his denials. As the crowd watched, his carefully constructed image began to crumble. The aftermath was swift and unforgiving. News of the confrontation spread like wildfire, dominating headlines and social media. Kane's allies distanced themselves, investors pulled out, and whispers of past indiscretions surfaced, painting a picture of a man who had long exploited his power. His legal team launched a counteroffensive, attempting to discredit Mariah by dredging up her past struggles, but the public's perception had shifted. The image of a pregnant, trembling Mariah standing up to a mogul was indelible. In a quiet Paris hospital room, Mariah faced the reality of her pregnancy and the trauma she had endured. Tessa arrived, devastated by the distance that had grown between them, but determined to support her wife. "I didn't know," Tessa said, tears in her eyes. "I just want to understand." Mariah, still grappling with her pain, began the slow process of healing, supported by her family and a community that refused to let her face this alone. Mariah's story became more than a scandal. It became a rallying cry. Her bravery inspired others to speak out, challenging the notion that powerful figures could operate with impunity. "I won't let him rewrite the truth," Mariah declared, her voice steady despite the challenges ahead. Mariah's journey is far from over. Legal battles loom as Kane fights to salvage his empire and reputation. Tessa and Mariah face the complex task of rebuilding their relationship, while Mariah grapples with the responsibility of impending motherhood. Yet through it all, she has found a new sense of purpose. "This child is not a curse," she said in a recent interview. "It's a life I'll protect and love." Her courage has reshaped Genoa City, forcing a reckoning with the shadows that lurk behind wealth and power. Kane's downfall serves as a stark reminder that no one is untouchable, and Mariah's refusal to remain silent has sparked a movement that resonates far beyond one night in Paris. Mariah Copeland's story is a testament to the power of truth in the face of overwhelming odds. By stepping into that Parisian ballroom, she not only exposed a predator, but also reclaimed her voice and her strength. Her actions have sent ripples through Genoa City and beyond, challenging us to listen to those who dare to speak, to question the untouchable, and to stand with survivors. As Mariah prepares for the challenges ahead, legal battles, motherhood, and healing, she does so with a community behind her, and a legacy of courage that will not be forgotten. In a world that often looks away, Mariah Copeland ensured it could not. Next week on The Young and the Restless, Kane does a disappearing act. Here's a look ahead at the episodes we'll see from June 30th to Friday, July 4th, 25. On The Young and the Restless, many of the Genoa City elite have been told they are stuck at Aristotle Dumas' estate in Nice, France, with no way to leave. A big storm blew through the French Riviera the night that Kane Ashby revealed himself. Because of the storm, Kane told his guests that the railroad track and the roadway had been washed out and needed repairs. Until that happened, there was no way for them to leave. However, none would be too surprised to know that Kane has more secrets, the main one being that there actually is a way out, and he plans to use it. When Chance revealed to Abby and Devon that Kane was concerned that someone could try to kill him, Abby guessed that Kane was trying to create a distraction for some other self-serving reason. She may have been right. Next week, Kane leaves the estate to go to Genoa City, where he meets with Holden. Holden told Claire last week that he had been working for a real estate company, and Adam knows that someone is buying up property all over downtown Genoa City. Was Holden buying them on behalf of Kane, or the other way around? Meanwhile, back in Nice, Amanda is left to manage the guests. Devon wants answers, but his past with Amanda isn't scoring him any points on getting her to reveal Kane's real plans. As for Claire, she and Victoria felt better after Nate explained there was hope for Cole's Legionnaire's disease prognosis. But is there? They return to his bedside at the hospital in Chicago, only for him to tell them that they got there just in time to say goodbye. Can't wait that long? We got you! You can check out the preview video here. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Tuesday, July 1st, reveal that Sally Spectra will await an answer after spelling out her terms. Since Billy Abbott is clearly still obsessed with Chancellor, Sally has to protect her own career path. That's why Sally wants a written agreement that she'll gain control of Abbott Communications if Billy's Chancellor pursuit pays off. Since this is non-negotiable for Sally, Billy will presumably cave in and may even be impressed by how strategic she's being. Billy will ultimately make a vow to Sally, so he may agree to sign the contract she has in mind and give her the reassurance she needs. Over with Nick Newman. He'll go on a fishing expedition. Nick will turn to someone he views as an inside Kane Ashby source, since Damian Kane used to work for him. Of course, Damian may point out that he actually worked for Aristotle Dumas and knew nothing about Kane's other life. Kane successfully kept his two worlds separate, so Damian may not have much intel that can help Nick. Even so, Nick will spend some time getting acquainted with Damian and will hope for some clues about whatever Kane might still be hiding regarding his agenda. In Genoa City, Y&R spoilers say Holden Novak will jump at the chance to make some money and gain Kane's favor. It turns out Holden and Kane are secretly working together, so this ties in with Adam Newman's recent discovery about all the key properties getting snatched up around town. Holden will be eager to please Dumas, aka Kane, so he'll be fine with all the secrecy and shadiness. This definitely sounds like a situation where when Kane says jump, Holden will ask how high. Regardless, Kane will meet with Holden to discuss more details, so we'll bring you updates on any shocking news that might come to light. Is this the show's way of doing away with his character for good? Kane Ashby returned to The Young and the Restless for a good reason. He claimed that someone was out to murder him, so he rounded up Genoa City's elite. Kane knows that he can't trust anyone, even his former friends. This has fans wondering whether his days are already numbered. Kane believes that one of his dinner guests will turn their knife on him. He's convinced that he's going to get murdered. But will he be able to solve this case? Who's been planning to kill him behind his back? No one even knew that Kane was Aristotle Dumas, even if they claimed they knew. Does this mean that his character could die? One Y&R fan has a feeling that it could happen. Linda Yancey believes that Kane's return wasn't for nothing. He could end up in the hands of his enemies, and he has a long list. There were numerous clues on the train, if you haven't noticed. Linda put on her detective cap during these episodes. She noticed some Easter eggs, which could reveal that someone could stab Kane in the back. Damian found a set of knives lying around, with Lily present. Why were these knives out? Was it to see if anyone would use them? This could be a trap. After all, Kane is known for scheming and manipulating those in his life. Damian's fingerprints are now on the knives. Kane could use this to claim that Damian is out to get him. He's already gotten Chance involved in the case. It wouldn't be a reach. Damian used to work for Kane. Now, he's romantically linked to Lily, who is Kane's ex-wife. This could be Kane's way of making sure that Damian is never around her ever again. Kane had already confronted Damian about staying away from Lily. Someone could flip the script and kill Kane while Damian gets blamed for it. Then, Michael will have to defend him. This could put Damian's chances of romance with Lily on hold. Blaming Damian could put a wrench in their relationship. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for the week of June 30th to July 4th. Note some massive moments in Genoa City. There's also a flurry of activity where casting is concerned, so time to find out who's coming and who's going in the little town over the next 5 days. Is Cole Howard exiting? The good news is that Cole Howard, played by J. Eddie Peck, will return to the canvas during the week of June 30th to July 4th. However, the bad news is, Will he may exit too. A scene was shown during the Y&R's preview for next week, as Cole was saying goodbye to Victoria Newman and Claire Newman via his hospital bed. Is there hope for a miracle here? Only time will tell. News hit this week that Connor Floyd, who plays Chance Chancellor on a recurring basis, has been hired by Days of Our Lives to play the Chad DiMera recast. In a real-life soapy plot twist, This is the very role Y&R newcomer Billy Flynn exited to play the Kane Ashby recast. Floyd won't be seen in Salem until April 2026, as the show films months ahead of broadcast, but he will be seen on the Y&R canvas during the week of June 30th, as he helps Kane figure out who's plotting to murder him. Will Chance get caught in the crossfire of all this? Will he exit this week? In addition to seeing Chance in France, Abby Winters will also be on hand, as her ex-husband confides in her during the Monday, June 30th show. This storyline gives Melissa Ordway more screen time as well. So how will Abby react when she finds out that Chance is investigating a murder at Kane Ashby's summer home? Speaking of, Michelle Morgan will continue her run as Kane's trusty lawyer, Amanda Sinclair, and fans should brace for a face-off between her and Lily Winters on the June 30th episode. What storyline are you most excited about during the week of June 30? Comment below. Check out the popular CBS Soap Daily for your dose of Genoa City drama, and visit SOS often for the most up-to-date Young and the Restless news and spoilers.